Yo, what is good, y'all? What's up? It's your boy Hit KLH Man. You know what the name is. It's Hitman, boy. It's your boy Hitman. It's Mr. KLH himself. Hashtag hang strong. Brought to you by Let's Get It Fantasy. Nah. But this is the wrap up for what is that? Week 3 fantasy. And we're gonna give you a recap of what's going on or what has happened in week 3. This week, let's see, we ended the week 3-1. Remember, I am in four leagues, 2 ESPN leagues and 2 of those sleeper leagues. And we ended this week with a record of 3-1 once again. And let me add to you that the Atlanta Falcons, ATL Shouty, we got our first dub. Against who? I don't know. I can't remember, and I don't care. We won. So let's add another win to the win column on that one. So this week has been really, really good. The Falcons moved to 1-2. So as you can see here in this league of champions, I am 2-1. We got the victory of 152-114. And we're going to recap those games and possibly recap a couple of the NFL games that have taken place over the weekend and also Monday. And then we're going to also look forward into week 4 and get the lineups pretty much ready and set. So let's get into it. So here, as you can see, we're 2-1 in this league, and we got the victory. Matchup wise, Rams versus the Arizona Cardinals. Did I really have any big give or takes from that game? I just think that the Arizona Cardinals started off really slow. Really, really slow. And I think Kyler Murray needs to use his legs a little bit more. He hasn't been using his legs as much. And I think he needs to use his legs a little bit more. But he gave me 32 points. As you see, we won 152-114. Let's just go through the week, and then we'll just actually recap my afterwards. So we had a 128, 129. Whoo, big boy, 196 to 102. 138, 121. 129, 133. 137, 140. So we end up with the second highest point scored this week. 150 is really good. That 196, usually a lot of teams that get a high percentage or a high number like that get ready to take an L the following week. So we've been really kind of consistent in the 150s around. If I can't remember, I'll have to go through each week to see kind of where we've been scoring. But you want a good consistency. You want high games when you can get them. But let's just go through each week. Derrick Henry was on the fence and on the bubble. This week, I'm like, man, how we looking, Derrick? Because I'm not feeling Kareem Hunt in my running back 2 spot. You know what I'm saying? And we battled some adversity. So let's see. We missed. Keenan Allen got hurt. So, but Derrick Henry ended up with 21 points. And my biggest thing with Derrick Henry is I don't see why they didn't do this with him before. Dude had 6 targets for 58 yards. Well, he pretty much had 5 catches for 58 yards. And then he had 20 carries for 85 yards. Derrick Henry can do that on a consistent basis. Think about this. If he's running between the tackles, right, against linebackers and D linemen, you can't run him on a flat route, throw him a flat route, and he's only going against corners and safeties. Are you guys retarded? I don't know why they're not involving him in the passing game. Derrick Henry is really your only offensive weapon And they need to use him this year, even though he's been, a 2,000-yard rusher and he was banged up last year. They need to give him the Christian McCaffrey approach. And they did it this game. And, the end result is he stepped up. He cashed it in. So, but that Raider game versus the Tennessee Titan game, like I said about the AFC South, no one really wants to win that division because it's just crazy. Pittsburgh played against Cleveland. Pittsburgh has a real problem. My problem is, why in the hell is Mitch Trubisky the starting quarterback if he has all these deficiencies? Like, do I like Mitch Trubisky at quarterback? I mean, honestly, it's really not a yes or a no. He could play the position, but just the way they use him, I'm not feeling it. So if you're not going to use him to like actually win games, why is he in the game? Like if you're not going to trust him to drive this Lamborghini, because this airplane, because if you think about all the money put into these stadiums and how much the revenue and all this stuff costs, like this is a private jet. He has the keys to this, and you're letting this guy crash it to the ground. Why start him? Why play him? Put in Pickett. But Kareem Hunt had 47 yards. Gave me 5 points. Indy versus KC. KC got the L. Indy got the win. Michael Pittman did pretty good. 8 of 72. Just kind of upset Pittman didn't get no touchdown red zone targets. They both went to Jalen Woods. Jalen Woods literally should have just had one touchdown. If that. Like, you got to go to Pittman there. Drake London had 11 points, 3 of 54. Zach Ertz, 6 of 45. My biggest thing is right here in my flex spot. And I'm going to tell you right now, I battled with this one very, very bad. And I really didn't need it, but I ended up getting more points at the end of the day. So as you can see, Keenan Allen was a late scratch. And he had a late game at 3. So I had nobody I had Walker to play in that spot. And I'm like, damn, I don't want to play Walker. DJ Moore had already played because he had a 12 o'clock game. So I'm scouring the free agency, and I saw Randall Cobb. And I'm like, Randall Cobb, Aaron Rodgers going against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It might be a little bit of a passing affair because it's kind of hard to run on Tampa Bay. So I'm like, Randall Cobb should be good, old, reliable, kind of take the approach of an Amendola type, just stay close to the quarterback. Then I picked him up, started him, and I'm just looking at it, and I read his bio for the week or whatever. Said he had an illness. He's coming back from being sick, and I'm like, oh, I don't want that. He had a 4.7 projection, and I was like, that looks real ugly. It was the same as Walker at the end of the day. So I was just like, And I went ahead and was like, you know what? Let me go get the rookie. Let me go get Dobbs. And Dobbs goes in with 8 of 73 with a touchdown. That's how you got to make those calls at the end of the day. And we got 15 points out of it. I really don't go over the defense part. Hunter got to do better. Watt got to do better. Smith helped out with the 20. Witherspoon, we got to check in on him because he ended up with an injury. Abraham's had 5 tackles, which he should have had more going against Derrick freaking Henry. Derrick had 20 tackles. Why aren't you getting to the ball, Abraham? Like, what I'm saying? Were you scared? What's going on? Falcons gave me 5 points, and Young Ho Koo gave me 12. DJ Moore shit an egg. Well, got a 1. Walker is still being evaluated. Pickens looked pretty good. Hines had 4. Fant didn't do nothing. Fant, I'm kind of on the fence with Fant right now. He's kind of taking up a roster spot for me. And then we got York, Corey Davis, and Keenan Allen. Hopefully he's returning this week. So we got the win, and we're moving on from that. And let's go into the next matchup. Or not matchup, but results of the other game. All right, so week 3 here, we had a total of 126 points of 144. Man, Justin Herbert was killing me in the beginning of this game. They lose to the Jacksonville Jaguars, 38-10. Never would have saw that coming. I don't know if that's because of Herbert being, injured or tender. I don't know, but they got to figure that out. Najee Harris, CEH, Tyreek Hill, Michael Pittman, Kyle Pitts, Christian Kirk, Watt, Herbert Wilson, Terrell Thompson, Ravens defense, and York. We end up with 126 to 144. And in this game here, let's go check out the league and scheduling. As you can see here, week 3 was a freaking tie. This is my first actual tie, bro. I've never had a tie before, but I got the dub. And how did I get the dub? Because as you can see, ties, the bench, whoever has the most points on the bench gets the victory. And we had Cordell Patterson with 26, Devontae Smith with 29, Dylan, all those guys all the way down. So we end up getting the victory in a tie. And his defense, which was Dallas defense, had 10 points. So I was up 126 to 116 before the start of the game. And he got 10 points for Dallas defense. And we got the dub because my bench, I should have won, period, if I'd have played Cordell Patterson or Devontae Smith. And I didn't. So we end up getting the victory on that. I'm ecstatic because we stay undefeated. We're 3-0 in this league. Stuff like that. Yeah. We don't want to look at the week. We'll look at the week 4 lineup in a little bit. So, we got the win, man, and I'm happy for it. The Eagles look, man. Let me tell you something. We'll get into that after we go through each game. After we go through each team, each fantasy team, we'll give a NFL recap. So here, Savage League 3 or something, whatever you want to call it, we got an L. 249 to 275, and I lost another game. I'm 1-2 in this league here, and I lost another game predicated just based off pretty much, defense at the end of the day. And it just is what it is in this league. Like this, I have a lot of injured players and stuff like that. Mike Evans was suspended, so I had to reach and pull players from the free agency to kind of put them in the game. But Herbert had a lackluster, but head-to-head as far as offensive weapons, I kind of win. I'm beating him except for the Michael Thomas and Cooper matchup, and the Miles Sanders to Clyde Edwards-Helaire matchup. But we lose this game when we probably should have won it, but we lost it. So we're 1-2 here. Don't like that at all. And Savage Premier League, we are 3-0. 3-0 here. We win 118.48 to 115. Wow, what a narrow victory here. And as you can see, I got Herbert again, gave me 12 points. Cook went down with 12 points. Nick Chubb gave me 17. Pairing Dalvin Cook and Nick Chubb is actually not too bad. St. Brown was injured in this game, gave me 13. But we got St. Brown, Pitt, Metcalf, Fairmouth, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and Kareem Hunt. Keenan Allen was out. Curtis Samuel actually did pretty well. Julio Jones was out and Noah Fant was out. We have nobody on the injury reserve list here when we kind of could put Shepard there, but Shepard probably get cut at the end of the day. But we'll put him there for a week. We'll put him there. So we'll be getting Keenan Allen back, so that'll help out the offense. But we end up getting the dub at the end of the day, 118 to 115. So like I was saying, we go 3-1 this week, and hey, Can't complain. And the Atlanta Falcons won. So let's go with a brief NFL game-by-game play of basically all the games that happened and results of some of those games. Let's see, guys trending up. Khalil Herbert trending up. I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna put any stock into that because I'm really not feeling it. Romeo Dobbs is probably someone I'll actually put stock into. That's really it for me because Packers do need a leading receiver and they kind of found one. So we'll be back with this quick commercial break and I will get back to you guys shortly. So we're back. Thank you for that little commercial break. Oh, what a commercial brought to you by AOC monitors. Get you one. Well, let's go. So now let's go ahead and talk about a few games that happened over the weekend. And talk about it a little bit. Let's start with the Chargers versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. Didn't see this one coming. Even with the injury to Herbert, didn't see this coming. Jacksonville is like a real sneaky team. Like watching Jacksonville and Doug Peters, I think he's their offensive coordinator or head coach, if I'm not mistaken. Way better than, I don't know what's up with Urban Meyer. I don't know if he was just there for the paycheck or whatever. But looking like a good fire and a good hire at the end of the day. Jacksonville's coming to play. And they don't look like last year's team. They look like they can contend with some of the top dogs. Now, I don't know if they had Keenan Allen and if they had a healthy Herbert, how would this game turn out? But as far as whatever, hey, you beat the hell out of the wounded dog. You know, if a Chihuahua is in a fight with a sick and injured, no teeth pit bull, like, that Chihuahua better get to work. And that's exactly what the Jacksonville Jaguars did. Now let's go on to Cleveland-Pittsburgh. This was a low-scoring game. I don't know what Pittsburgh is really doing. I'm kind of flabbergasted because if you look at all the money invested into this NFL team, right? You would call them a jet, or an airline. Because how much it costs to make a fucking plane? What, $1 billion or, a couple million? So this team is invested into winning, and you're giving the keys to Mitch Trubisky, and he's just crashing the fucking thing. Like, if you're going to let someone crash it, let the rookie crash it. At least he's learning something. It's just trial by fire. Like, the stands and the butts in the stands want to see victory. They don't want to see Mitch Trubisky out there taking points away from Najee Harris on a damn read option play on the 1 yard line. Because me owning Najee Harris do not want to fucking see that. Because I'm sitting there like, why the fuck are you guys giving Mitch Trubisky a touchdown when no one's playing? Like, I know these guys don't care about fantasy football and stuff like that. But I'm sitting here like, ain't nobody putting Mitch Trubisky in the goddamn game on their fantasy team and fantasy lineup. How the fuck is this man getting a 1 yard touchdown? You don't give the ball to Najee Harris. What the hell? Now, if it was Pickett at quarterback, let the rookie learn and get him some touchdowns and shit like that. Like, I wouldn't care. But Mitch Trubisky, who's not even the future of the team, don't give him no stats. That's why they lost that game. That's why they lost the game at the end of the day. Clyde Edwards-Helaire against Indy. Well, I should say KC versus Indy. KC had every reasons to win this game and did everything to do to lose it. And the Indianapolis Colts didn't look. It was a great win for the Colts, bounce backing from getting their ass whooped the week before. And I don't know. Those Jacksonville Jaguars are really looking like something because look what they did to the Colts, right? And then look what they did to the Chargers. Like, they held the Chargers to 10 points. The Colts didn't even score last week. And then the Colts turned around and beat KC. So Jacksonville's looking like the NFL is really looking like the NFL because, like, it's almost like any team can win, and you're kind of looking at when the team does win, it's like when you look at the score, it's like, what the hell? How the hell that happened? Miami versus Buffalo. This is a real interesting game. Buffalo loses this game 21-19. And Buffalo won in every category: time possession, total yards, everything. But what I got from that game is this. You cannot beat the Miami Dolphins in a track meet. If you're gonna air it out and the game is just gonna go out of I mean, you saw what happened with the Ravens, a track meet, you saw what happened with the Ravens and the Dolphins. Like, you're not gonna beat them that way. You're gonna lose that way because you don't have enough speed to contain everything that they have at the end of the day. And the Ravens learned that out the hard way. And the Buffalo Bills had a real good game plan. But to me, the Buffalo Bills was just too conservative. Like, they had all those yards, they had all those plays ran, and they had all the time of possession. It's because they were not trying to basically force the Miami Dolphins into a track meet. They were really trying to control the game and win on a low-scoring game. Because if that game does go blow for blow with touchdown for touchdown in each drive, and it's like a 45-42 game or something, Buffalo Bills would probably get ran out the building. They probably would. If you're going to make this game a track meet, I don't think the Buffalo Bills would be able to keep up with the Miami Dolphins in the track meet. It's just not going to happen. And I don't want to call it luck because they didn't look up and win, but Tua made the necessary plays to win the game. His accuracy played the bigger role and the bigger part because he didn't have a lot of opportunity, but he cashed his opportunities in the red zone, and they got the dub. So I think it's just something about the defense. I don't want to say they were scared, but they were too conservative, too over the top. They kind of played like 2-by-2. So both safeties are kind of one safety. You have two safeties, free safety and strong safety, right? So one safety, they're doubling up on Hill, and the other safety is doubling up on Waddle. And at the end of the day, Waddle got loose, Hill didn't. And that's basically the deciding factor of that. And they basically went 2-by-1 versus Hill and Waddle. And it worked. But at some point of time, you got to go after the quarterback. And they were just too conservative offensively and defensively. And it bit them in the ass at the end of the day. Atlanta versus Seattle. You got to see Pitts go off a little bit. Get a lot of catches, 5 catches for 87. We got the dub. It's just something about Cordell Patterson, man. Just let him work. Just let him be the workhorse, man. Just let him play. I like it. Christian Kirk turned in another game. We already talked about Jacksonville. We already talked about Arizona. Well, Arizona and the Rams, just to me, Kyler Murray is not running as much as he needs to. He needs to run a little bit more, and that'll help his team out. He needs to start running the football. Jets versus Cincinnati Bengals. Ravens versus New England. Ravens had this game in the books, and New England fought hard to try to bring it as a closer game. Philadelphia versus Washington. This is what I'm going to say. The only team that can make a game a track meet with these Miami Dolphins is the Philadelphia Eagles. When you look at the Philadelphia Eagles and you look at the Miami Dolphins, it's the same setup. Honestly, the way Tua was set up in Alabama and the way Hurts was set up in Alabama, like as far as having the speed weapons and the weapons on the outside, the speed with good, you know what I'm saying? The speed, like those teams are eerie similar. You know what I'm saying? Devontae Smith is no slouch. He might not be the fastest receiver, but he's up there. He's a legit 4.4, 4.3 guy. You got Quez Watkins, who's a 4.2, 4.3 guy. You got A.J. Brown, who's a 4.4, 4.4 guy. So they got some speed. Miles Sanders is a 4.4, 4.3 guy. They got some speed over there. And they got a defense, and they got speed over there. So that's what it's looking like to me. Both of those teams are playing really, really well, and it's gelling really, really together. It's gelling together. And Jalen Hurts, like I've said, when he got drafted, he was the steal of this draft. And the guy looks good. Tua always was really good. So now you see these guys trying to put their best foot forward into making this season really difficult, because we're used to rooting for the Chiefs. Now we're rooting for the Bills, the Packers, and you know what I'm saying, all these top-heavy teams, and you're seeing Miami and Philly. You wouldn't have thought about this right now. You wouldn't have thought Miami 3-0, Philly 3-0, and you're not even thinking they're the same similar style of team. They play good defense, and they got a lot of speed on the offensive side of the ball. And Jalen Hurts, I don't think he's as accurate as Tua is, but if Jalen Hurts would have never went to Oklahoma, that's where he developed that accuracy and that confidence to be able to get that ball and thread that ball down the middle, and the, you know, wherever he needs to throw the ball, and almost win the Heisman. Like, that ain't confidence to be able to throw the ball. I don't know how you're gonna ever get it. So they looking. I don't, you know, no one's, at the end of the day, no team will be undefeated, but that's scary. Those two teams are scary. And what are the odds of seeing Miami versus Philadelphia Eagles in the Super Bowl? Because I don't see no NFL team being able to run on each side. NFC, who can run with the Philadelphia Eagles? Run with them. Make it. If you want to make it a shootout, who can run with them? There's no team over there that can run with them. And then if you look on the AFC side, name me a team that can run with the Miami Dolphins. Now, the Buffalo Bills had a great game plan of, okay, let's hog the time of possession and keep it a low-scoring game. Because that's probably your best bet to beat this team, is the approach that the Buffalo Bills took. And they still lost the game. That is scary right there. That's scary. So not only can they beat you in the track meet, they can beat you, because the Buffalo Bills ain't no, you know, sorry team, but they can beat you, right, when you hog the time of possession. That's just like, every team has a strong suit and a weakness. You know, they got a pro and a con. And I think if a team can ground and pound them and keep two of them off the field, so they can't get that NASCAR, they can't get those Ferraris running on that track or running on that field, like, it's gonna frustrate them. But they stayed composed and they still won when everything was basically adversity for them. They were out rushed, they were out passed, had total yards wasn't in their favor, possession, third down. Like, I'm gonna say this too, you know, getting first down does not win you games. Points win you games. So you can have 20, you could be 22 for 25 on third down. You ain't putting no points up, you ain't winning no games. So getting first downs don't necessarily win you games. Getting first downs give you the opportunity to get points. And you have to score the points when you get in those red zones, when you get in that close to the field. If you can't score, motherfucker, you better kick them fucking field goals. Stop going for it on fourth down, taking these chances. Get your points, because points win you games. And that's where the Buffalo Bills failed at. delivering points when they had the game. That game if they would have kicked field goals all game, they were 11 for 18. So if you just kick 3 points and get in field goal range and kick 3 points going 11 of 18 on third down, that's 33 points right there. You win the game. That's 33 points off of just basically getting in field goal, passing the 50-yard line, getting to the 40. You know what I'm saying? And just kicking a field goal. Like, you're winning the game. They lost it because they were just too conservative. Now, kicking field goals would be kind of conservative as well. But what I mean by being conservative is that they're trading in time of possession versus points. They're just sitting on the ball. They just sitting on the ball. And look, it backfired on them and they lost. Miami found a way to win and they did just that. If there's no team that can give Philadelphia a punch in the mouth, Philadelphia is going to win most of their games. Philadelphia is going to just run with it. So let's go over the week 4 matchup, or should say depth chart. So we're going to edit the lineup. And this week, as you can see, is going to be a little bit different. And I'm honestly, I've been missing some points from some players that I shouldn't kind of miss points from. When you have your lineup and stuff like that, when you have your lineups and you got your players, your lineup has to really go off of, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm not really looking for a word, but your lineup has to go off of your draft. Like when you pick up people and stuff like that and you're filling your draft, you're filling your roster, like you got to play. Like you're not, your first round pick, you're not sitting him. You're not sitting your 1 through 5 selections. Like those 1 through 5 got to play. You know what I'm saying? So for this league, for this instance, my first pick was Najee Harris. My second pick was Tyreek Hill. Right? Let me look through the roster real quick. Second pick was Tyreek Hill. My first pick was Najee Harris, Tyreek Hill, and I think I went with either Herbert or Pittman, and then I got Pitts, right? So those guys are all playing, right? But I had Cordell Patterson sitting. I got Cordell Patterson when I drafted him in 67th. But I had CEH playing, and I drafted CEH at 78. So, in a sense, Cordell Patterson should have been in my starting lineup just off of draft selection. You know what I'm saying? So I've been missing points, even though I'm still 3-0. I've been missing some points in some pretty good high-scoring games if I would have just stuck with my guns and played the guys that were supposed to be played based off my draft selection. So you kind of want to do that. That's why it's real hard when you go RB, when you go running back heavy and you're just picking up running backs and you're using you can't play all those fucking running backs. So now you're in a dilemma, like, which running back do I need to play? Because you're just grabbing running backs. Like, I kind of went with best available, but I went best available according to a position. Like, I didn't go RB heavy. I kind of went, workhorse running back, 2 good receivers. If it would have been, and what I mean by receivers, I mean like a tight end if it's available. That's why you see I have Kyle Pitts. So I got Tyreek Hill, I got Kyle Pitts. So those are like receivers to me, and Michael Pittman. So once I filled those 3, I went ahead and got Justin Herbert. I didn't probably go in that direction, but it went something like that if you look at the when these guys were selected. So, but Cordell Patterson will be starting. So basically the second part, my running back 2, is between CEH and Cordell Patterson. But Cordell Patterson, when I look at the way that the Chiefs are playing and I look at the way that the Falcons are playing, Cordell Patterson has way more upside than the CEH does. So, and that's why Cordell Patterson was drafted, before CEH. I just happened to see CEH. Like, oh, no one got him. Let me go ahead and scoop him up. The same thing with like AJ Dillon. Like I picked up AJ Dillon because I'm like, oh, he's sitting right here. Why is he sitting right here? So when you see Devontae Smith, he was drafted 91st, right? But I have Christian Kirk playing, or Christian Kirk has been playing. I have not played Devontae Smith in my lineup yet. And Christian Kirk was drafted 115. So I'm getting a lot of value out of Christian Kirk right now. If Christian Kirk ain't winning you games, I don't know what the hell you have done. So if you got two good receivers, you should have been trying to either trade for Christian Kirk week 1, week 2, because you would have got him for the low, and now you're not going to be able to get him at all. And so now like for this game, Jacksonville versus each other. So I got Kirk and Devontae Smith. I'm really intrigued into playing sitting Pittman. Like I'm really intrigued into sitting Pittman so I can play Devontae Smith and Christian Kirk. Because I do feel that game is going to be a shootout. Because it's got to be a shootout. And I don't think the Indianapolis Colts versus Tennessee will be a shootout. That's going to be a ground and pound kind of, run the clock, run the ball, run the clock out type shit. We'll use Matt Ryan on third down situations where, now that Jacksonville and Philadelphia game, it's going to be quarterbacks dueling it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm really, really looking to sit Pittman, and which will be really risky. Because when you look at Pittman, that's a 40, that was like my third pick. And you're sitting him for guys you got in the 5th and 6th round. But they are playing really, really well. And so, like, really the battle of the flex spot is between Kirk and Devontae Smith. You know what I'm saying? So that flex spot is between them two. Like they're really battling for that flex spot. So if I was to trade Devontae Smith for something, I'm upgrading that flex spot. So let's just say, for instance, I want to get out of the Najee Harris business. I'm going to package Najee Harris and Devontae Smith and go get a bag. I'm going to get a bag for that because of the esteem of Najee Harris. But people probably be like, well, why would you trade? Because I'm liking Cordell Patterson and CEH. Like, imagine if I trade Najee Harris and Devontae Smith, right? And I get somebody like Stephon Diggs and maybe a little like a running back, their running back too. I could do that. I should be able to get that. But then you're gonna see I'll have Tyreek Hill, Michael Pittman with Stephon Diggs. Like I'll have 3 quality number 1 receivers. But see, the way that I'm looking at my team, the way this team is like configured right now, I can kind of leave Najee Harris, keep him, and get an investment if he has a breakout game. Like, oh wow! But then the way Tyreek Hill is playing, the way Pittman is Pittman is really my safe receiver. Like he's the only target that guy there. You know what I'm saying? And so when you look at the Philadelphia Eagles, like I can play Devontae Smith because look how many targets. But Christian Kirk is in a better role than Devontae Smith is. Christian Kirk is the number 1 receiver. Now it's just predicated on if Jacksonville throws the ball enough, to get him his stats. And as you can see, he's 12, 6, and 9. Like he's catching his passes. He's you know what I'm saying? Like he's turning in his investment. So for a flex spot, that's great. Getting 18 points out of the flex, and you can get what? 25, and you know what I'm saying? With Pittman, like I could trade Pittman. I can you know what I'm saying? Like I could trade Pittman and Najee and get a better running back. Get 2 running backs or something to build those running backs up, replace Najee Harris, because I don't like the situation in Pittsburgh, because they're going to load the box up on Najee Harris regardless of who the quarterback is, until this quarterback can show that he is able to throw the ball downfield. Like, they're going to just stack the box. They're like, we don't care. You know what I'm saying? So what running back would I go after in a sense with Najee Harris and Pittman? I mean, I don't know, because Najee Harris is so high, it will be a top 3 running back. So it would be somebody like Christian McCaffrey, Jonathan Taylor, but I don't think no one's really going to move on those players. But they can, because look what I'm giving them for them. Like that, Jonathan Taylor. So if I had Jonathan Taylor, you replace Najee, you give up Pittman and Najee Harris for Jonathan Taylor. And they say, yeah, I'll do that. You'll have Jonathan Taylor, Tyreek Hill, Christian Kirk, Devontae Smith with Cordell Patterson. And then you look at my bench. I still have guys on the bench. A.J. Dillon, CEH. But I think that's too extreme. That's trying to be too pretty. You know what I'm saying? So if I leave my team alone, I'm gonna miss some points on the bench, which is cool. I'd rather miss points on the bench than trade them away and give somebody else the points. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather keep my points on my bench then, because that means they're not somebody else's, because these are my money leagues. I'm not about to make a trade to feed you so you can possibly beat me. You gonna come get somebody off my team, you gonna come pay for this. You gonna come pay. You'll pay premium for it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not about to just trade you to help you beat me and I lose $2,000. I lose a chance of winning $2,000, and no, that's not. No, you better chill out with that. Now, if this is some free league, I'm an experiment. That's where you get to play around and build some experience and do some shit you probably wouldn't normally do. But in the money league, no, I'm not doing that. So we'll see how it rolls. As far as matchups, you never know. But I think Pittman might have a similar stat line, this 9, like he did against KC, because I don't see it being a high-scoring game. Tennessee really don't have nobody to throw the ball to. So they're going to be stacking the box. Indianapolis is going to be stacking the box, but Derrick Henry just always kills the Colts no matter what. And I think it's going to be the other way around. And I think Jonathan Taylor is going to kill the Tennessee Titans. So it's just going to be a running back affair from those two. I think Pittman might have I don't think Pittman will go 9-121 and win a touchdown. He can, but he's still getting 872. He's just missing a touchdown. He should have had a touchdown last game. But I don't see him getting that stat line like week 1 against Tennessee Titans, because time of possession, and I just don't see it. So am I taking a gamble throwing in Devontae Smith for Pittman or Christian Kirk for Pittman? I honestly feel the Philadelphia Eagles Jacksonville game is going to be a fucking shootout. Why? That's the gamble that I'm willing to play, because Pittman is my safe receiver. If I have a receiver that can get me 180 yards like Devontae Smith did, if there's a chance that he can get 150 next week or get 100 next week, maybe a touchdown, like, that's a gamble I'm going to take. Like, you have the safe bet and then you have the gamble bet. Safe bet, I think Pittman this week could get me, 9 catches, 80-some yards, and hopefully I get a touchdown. Then I give him like 13 points. Maybe like 15 points. Or I can get I can gamble and get a guy who can give me 10. He can go 7 for 7 for 80. He can go 7 for 80, give me 10. But explode for, what I'm saying? Like, it's a gamble at the end of the day. And I'm willing to take that gamble with that game. So Kirk is at ranked 6. So I have a 6 ranked receiver 25. Tyreek Hill is 4. And then I got Devontae Smith sitting here at 16. Like, you don't really go off of the position rank. You know what I'm saying? Because that's, but I'm just saying, like, I got some shit, But we'll just have to see. So we'll see. Let's go do the lineup in my other leagues. And kind of take that same approach with we're playing the guys that we drafted before who. You know what I'm saying? So in this league, we got to move some guys around. We got Keenan Allen coming back. So let's move Keenan Allen off IR. And I have too many receivers, so I have to drop one. Like, right? So who are you going to drop? I'm definitely not dropping Moore. I'm definitely not I honestly can drop Pickens, but I'm going to drop Corey Davis. I don't want to drop Corey Davis, but I like Corey Davis. But looking at what Corey Davis is, the second receiver. Pickens is a rookie. Pickens is the third receiver. And the way Pittsburgh is just, I'd rather have a second receiver versus a third receiver. You know what I'm saying? And so when you look at Dobbs is number 2 receiver. So you kind of go process of elimination on the receiver spot. Like, I'm not getting rid of DJ Moore. He's the number 1 receiver. Pickens is actually the third receiver. So I mean, who? Because you got to drop somebody. That's why Pickens is, that's not. I'm not really feeling. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't really feeling that. If I had an injury somewhere, I might move him there, move another injured player into that spot. But Corey Davis has more upside than Pickens does. So we'll see. This will really be a big test. Roster spot. At the end of the day, it's Corey Davis versus Pickens because Jets are going against the Steelers. So we're going to see if I made a bad decision. Corey Davis is rostered at 8.9 of fantasy team, excuse me. And Pickens is rostered at 38.8 and is dropping. So it's telling you to play George Pickens, but George Pickens to me is not starting over Deontay Johnson, and he's not starting over Claypool. But he's a viable third receiver. You know what I'm saying? But he's not starting over those guys. Like, if they go a 2 receiver set, Pickens is not starting. I'm going Claypool and I'm going Deontay Johnson. Like, I'm sorry. Corey Davis is going to be on the field more than Pickens. And he was drafted. I drafted him 123. So me dropping him is not a bad call. I just had him just to have him. So I'm gonna drop Pickens so I can move Keenan Allen up because Pickens was not gonna start if I missed anyways. So we'll see at the end of week 4 who outscored who between Pickens and Corey Davis. We're gonna see. Let's see and see if I made the wrong decision. So let's edit this lineup and get it going. Pittman, London. So let's go ahead and put Keenan Allen here. We're going to put Pittman here. And the flex is not going to be Dobbs. My flex is DJ Moore. I think DJ Moore's got to have the bounce back week. As far as running back, you got Derrick Henry, Kareem Hunt. What I got on the bench to fill Kareem Hunt's role. Hines, Walker, nobody. See what it says about Mac. Because Mac didn't even get a touch. Mac was only on the field. for 3 special team snaps and Sunday's 11-10 loss. Mack was signed from the practice squad to replace injured. So his team's third back of the former game. So that's disheartening. So anyways, let's save that. So that gives us a total of 140. So going DJ Moore, even though London has been balling. London is balling. Like, London is balling. But he's position ranked 19, which is really good. But he was drafted 99 to DJ Moore's 27. Like, that sucks for DJ Moore. It really does suck for DJ Moore. But I kind of feel that DJ Moore breakout game should be coming up. It should be coming up. Like, if it's 4 weeks, it should be coming up. It has to. And if it doesn't, and it doesn't. You know what I'm saying? Like, if it doesn't, it doesn't. I'm liking Carolina versus Arizona more than I'm liking Cleveland versus Atlanta. Like, I really am. Like, I think that's going to be a Pitts game versus, you know, a Drake London game. Like, but Drake London has been playing. He's been balling. Like, Drake London is looking like Pittman as a safe, you know what I'm saying? Like a safe player. Like, he's but it's not, you know what I'm saying? It's not like, see, here on this squad here, right? I don't have no deep threat. I have all safe receivers. Keenan Allen is not a deep threat. He's a safe receiver. Michael Pittman is not a deep threat. He's a safe receiver. Drake London is not a deep threat. He's a safe receiver. Like, I'm missing. DJ Moore is supposed to be my deep threat. You know what I'm saying? DJ Moore is supposed to be my deep threat with, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's supposed to be my Tyreek Hill, but he ain't panning out to be like no Tyreek Hill. Like, so, I'm not really liking this team, but I'm 2-1, and I'm taking dubs as they come. So, hey, I rock with it. Now, as far as defense, Falcons versus Cleveland, and then Colts versus Tennessee, I'm not liking either one. Because I know for a fact that the Colts cannot contain Derrick Henry. I don't see it happening. And I know the Falcons cannot contain. Excuse me. The Falcons cannot contain Nick Chubb. It ain't happening, folks. Man, this is gonna be really difficult. But I think I'm gonna go with the. I'm just not sold on them throwing the ball. So I'm moving the Colts. I'm not sold on Tannehill and his weapons at the receiver position. I'm just not. Like, if it's a low scoring game, great. You know, it's not a lot of the yards being used or ran. So I'm going with the Colts. I like Brissett over Tannehill because Brissett has weapons. Brissett has Amari Cooper. You know what I'm saying? Brissett has Njoku. You know, I like that versus the weapons Tannehill has, because Tannehill has no weapons at all. So we're going to go with that one. Yeah. So that lineup is pretty much set. I've got to keep an eye on Witherspoon, make sure he's healthy, or, you know. But let's go to our other league, Sleeper, and figure out what we got going on here. Let's go to team and do this roster. So we got Nick Chubb, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, which I'm going to move here. I gotta see because I'm let me see. Curtis Samuel, DK Metcalf going against the Falcons. No, DK Metcalf going against Detroit. Dalvin Cook is questionable, so he's on the bench. Kareem Hunt, Sterling Shepard, Julio Jones should be coming back this week. We gonna have to see. Dalvin Cook has went down. But DK, Curtis Samuel, Keenan, who was out, Michael Pittman on St. Brown. So this lineup is looking pretty much set already. We'll see how Dalvin Cook, because he plays Sunday, so that's really good. It's a Sunday game. He had a dislocated shoulder, so he should be good to go. Am I playing Kareem Hunt? I got Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb going to carry the load on that. Kareem Hunt could actually play over Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Because I don't see Clyde Edwards-Helaire actually getting any running room. But the team can pass the ball really, really well. Well, I don't even think they could. They could pass the ball really well as far as like having a really good quarterback. But actually throwing the ball, I don't know. I don't know my opinion on that game just yet. Excuse me, I am yawning. Whew. So can I go Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb? Clyde Edwards-Helaire giving me 11-10, and look what Kareem Hunt gave me 11-6. Like Kareem Hunt is actually getting way more opportunity than Clyde Edwards-Helaire is. He really is. Curtis Samuels is stepping up. Like I want when I look at this roster, right? I'm looking at either your number 2 or number 1 receiver, right? Julio Jones comes back. Curtis Samuels a number 2, number 1 receiver. Number 2. Sterling Shepard was a number 1. He got hurt. Noah Fant ain't nothing right now. Julio Jones is a number 2, number 1 receiver. So we got the pieces. We just got to make sure we put them in the right spot. So as far as the way the depth chart is looking here, I'm gonna roll with that. That's what I'm rolling with. So if anything could change, it would definitely be Dalvin Cook going back in the starting lineup. So we just have to wait for that. Okay. So let's get this lineup: Justin Herbert, Christian McCaffrey, Cordell Patterson, Devontae Adams, Michael Thomas, Scary Terry, Miles Sanders. Let me see. And then we have on the bench. Brandon Cooks, Allen Robinson, DJ Chark. McCall Hardman has just been disappointing. George Pickens, Julio Jones, Noah Fant, Jerome Baker, Chris Jones, injury reserve. We got Mike Evans, who was suspended, coming back. So we could take Mike Evans off of injury and put him there, which means Michael Thomas for Mike Evans, Terry McLaurin, and Miles Sanders. See, this is where it's getting really dicey. This is where it's getting really dicey because I got Michael Thomas down here with a 14, Brandon Cooks with a 13. He's questionable. Oh, yeah, Michael Thomas did get hurt. Likely not serious. He will go under the additional test Monday. Oh, I thought he had something else. So I got a lot of weapons in this league right here. That's really Scary Terry had a pretty disappointing, but he's going against the number 1 receiver. He's going to So he's going against Diggs. So he's going to have opportunity versus Diggs. I like that. Miles Sanders versus Jacksonville. To me, it's like he might have a goal line, get some goal line work, because they're going to be moving the ball. Cordell Patterson versus Cleveland. That's a good game. Christian McCaffrey, good game. Devontae Adams, Mike Evans, TJ Hawkinson. So Scary Terry. I like Scary Terry. The focal point of the Eagles' offense is not really the running back position. So I'm gonna take out Miles Sanders and put that there. Put it like that. Michael Thomas, Terry, McLaurin. Yeah. Let's switch these two. So it'll be Terry McLaurin's efficiency versus Dallas versus Miles Sanders' efficiency versus Jacksonville. And the emergence of Curtis Samuel. Curtis Samuel has been playing really well, being a great second option. And Miles Sanders has been really the only option. But he only had 5 points against Washington. Why? I don't know. Miles Sanders rushed 40 for 6 rushing yards, 15 attempts, and caught his lone target of -2 yards. Miles Sanders clearly there in the backfield. Yeah, he only had 5.4. Was it kind of... I'm not liking it. Yeah, I'm a roll with Terry McLaurin. Because Terry McLaurin ended up with, 17 in an off day? You know what I'm saying? For that spot, he beat out, and plus the running receiver. In this league, receivers get more value than actual running backs because every time they catch the ball, they get a whole point for that shit. So, yeah. Damn, Terry had 100 yards? Damn, I didn't know he had 100 yards. That's really good. So, yeah, we definitely going Terry McLaurin, Michael Thomas, Christian, and Cordell Patterson. 1 and 2. Hopefully we can get this turned around. Now, here you got to really be careful and see where... let me see who's my linebackers. Baker's going against Cincy. Oh, we got Jadeveon Clowney coming back. So we got to wait on Clowney to see how he does. But because Clowney going to go to Jonathan Allen's spot. 16 for Jonathan Allen. That's dope. Let me see. Logan. Kurtzy. Davenport. Jonathan Abraham. Kazir White. And I have Jerome Baker. Jerome Baker posted 38 against Buffalo. And he's going against Cincinnati. I think we were pretty stout there. yeah, so yeah, I think we good. We good. We good. We are good. Right there, baby. So let's see these horses get racing, baby. So that's week 4 matchups. So week 4 we're going against an 0-3 team. We're 1-2. So hopefully we get the dub. And then here, week 4. $127 to $133. Not looking too good. 2-5 versus a 3-0 team. Let's see what team he has. Damn. Jalen Hurts, Jonathan Taylor, Aaron Jones, Tyreek Hill, Jerry Jeudy, Chris Olave. It's not a bad team. I don't like the Olave part. Hawkinson versus Fairmouth. Okay, I'd rather have Hawkinson. Etienne and James Robinson, him going double up in Jacksonville running back. I don't. That's retarded. Yeah, so his team looked good all the way up until that bottom part. It fell out with having like Travis Etienne and James Robinson. Like, what? Why would you do that? That doesn't make sense to me. He has 2 quality backs, but I don't think Aaron Jones should have a high 15. But Clyde Edwards-Helaire in 11-10 and going against Tampa Bay. Eesh, you know. Now, I do think the Cleveland Browns should double up with, and run the ball. 11-10 Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and 11-6. So that's not a big. Well, let me. But see, also thinking about Clyde Edwards-Helaire, right? In that game against Indy, like he had 7 carries. Like he didn't like he had opportunities. He had 5 targets, right? He had the reception yards and targets, but he didn't have a lot. So he touched the ball more than any other running back. But he's just not touching the ball at a high clip. Like literally, Kareem Hunt touches the ball more than Clyde Edwards-Helaire does. I swear he does. And that's just because the Cleveland Browns runs more. Like if the ball's not like the way Njoku played last week was really great because when Kareem Hunt comes into the game, like linebackers gotta be aware of Kareem Hunt, and that's why Njoku got kind of loose. It's either Njoku or Kareem Hunt in the passing game next to Cooper. But they don't need all that for the Atlanta Falcons. So me doubling up on Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt is the same kind of idiocy for Travis Etienne and James Robinson. I probably should do it, but I'm most likely not going to do it. I'd rather have I have some time to think about it, so but I'm gonna wrap up this video. I have probably took a lot of your time. But thank you guys for tuning in. I don't know when you guys are going to catch this video. If it's in the morning, I hope you're enjoying your donuts and coffee or breakfast. You know what I'm saying? Eggs, grits, bacon, pancakes. If you're catching this video in the afternoon, guess what? I hope you're having a nice ice cream, chips and salsa. What you have? Corn dogs or hot dogs and sandwiches and chips. You know what I'm saying? If you're catching that, catching this upload in the afternoon. If it's in the evening and you're watching, I hope you're enjoying your meal. You got you some steak, mashed potatoes with some broccoli, steamed broccoli, a little bit of cheese on it. You know what I'm saying? Hope you're enjoying whatever you're doing when you're watching. There will be more content coming soon. And I'll end it with saying good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Hang strong, baby. KLH.